Hey guys, what's up? This is Tyler from Division One Trading. We're just going to go over a quick trade that we took with the VIP group. Didn't send this trade as a signal, ran away a little bit too quick for us to send comfortably, but still got it with the VIP. So right here, we're just talking about the entire week. We're talking about a bearish week. So generally, a bearish week will look something like this. You'll see an in formation and then 3 pushes, right? So 1, 2, 3 pushes. And then sometimes you'll see a stop hunt go lower, or sometimes you'll see stop hunt just stop like that and then starts breaking higher. And then we expect it to come back to level 2. So that's what we see this week. We see the first push, trades down, and we're identifying that as the first push because it breaks a level of structure, right? So it breaks down, or major level of structure, I should say. Breaks there, and then second push right here breaks another level of structure, right? We're identifying this as a second push because not only does it break that level of structure, but it also reaches way back up into this area of resistance. Right, so when it does that, we call this a stop hunt. Right, so it can be in the form of this or here. So second push, then trades back up, another stop hunt, right? Looks up here, goes right above it, then trades back down. That's the third push. So now we're expecting either the low to look something like this, or the low to reach lower. Right, so we get a nice move. We end up getting long, and we'll go over this video will be posted as well. Sent this as a long for the signal, but we're going to be talking about the short here today. So we knew that this was likely a long setup, and it got us where? Right back to level 2. So what does that mean? That means that as far as what we're expecting, that's it. So we'll talk about, or we'll see it in the replay, and we'll talk more about it. But at the very top today, we had right here on 7:30, this consolidation here. Then 8:30 occurs, and we reach above that. This is one of our setups, is when you see one of the pennants like this at the end of a trend, or the end of what you're expecting, right? And then like we talked about, boom, right? Trades right back into that level. And if you measure that third push, we have a fib comes right up to the 80% and then drops down. And so when we have this pinch or this consolidation, we see it run up and then gives the engulfing candle. We don't have to take that one, but what happens after that is important. We see another engulfing candle, right? And then the candle after the engulfing, the high of that wick, we look for our entry there, from there, and then for 50% of that engulfing candle. So from that wick to 50% of that engulfing candle, we look for our entry. So we enter short there, and it comes right back toward it. Our stop would be back up here. Trades down, and then you'll see in the replay, we actually had multiple entries. We got short here, ended up taking profit, and then it stopped us out. And we ended up getting short again at some point. I believe it might have been here. And taking profit and then getting knocked out again. But was trading with VIP today. And again, just one last look at it. Nice little view of the week. All right, guys, I'll start that replay. Okay, so here's that consolidation we were talking about. And this is at 5,000 speed, just trying to get it
speeding up. So there's 8:30. That's our bond open, right? Hits our nice level, and we go short, right? So we have that engulfing candle, and then now we have that larger engulfing candle right there. So we set our stop loss up at the first engulfing, and we want to see that John Wick now be sensitive and 50% of that engulfing there. So you could also be entering here. And then now, right, we're looking for really the first area to take profit at the low of that entire consolidation. Right there where the mouse was, right there at that low. So beyond that, you'll see I'll draw out the take profits here. But beyond that, you always just want to keep looking left towards structure. That's going to be one of the most important things, especially in the beginning. Learning the skill of trading is always going to be referring to structure. Everything is just structure, structure, structure. I would also say, always rely more on price action than indicators, but most people know that. And yeah, so if you want to pause it during that part, you can. It's a demo account that we're trading with the VIP group just to keep track of all the trades. So here it reaches back and it's testing that consolidation there. But look, notice it hasn't hit the low yet, so we don't want to be really exiting this trade or doing any moving of our stop. We pulled it up a little bit, but we don't want to put it under break even, right? We want to give it some room. So there's those profit targets we were talking about. They're just there at structure, like I was saying. Let's see. So there we go. And this was important. There was a student. Here we go talking about market structure. So at this point, when we had that low there, when it paused, that was important because it was waiting, right? Waiting for what? They're getting that last second buyers, and then boom, they start dumping it. Now we can move our stop to break even because we've surpassed our first take profit. We take something off the trade, and we wait for it to hit our T2. Then at T2, we can take a little more off the trade and wait for T3. So here we just show how pull the stop a little bit too tight as far as if we were really expecting it to get to that T3. Really want to leave it halfway between the entry and T1, but you can see it comes back and stops us out. And so we're going to speed up the recording here because like 5,000 real quick just to show when we get that second entry like I was talking about. So comes back here and consolidates. And this is a tough part in trading where a lot of retail will be expecting the move to continue or break out. And generally they'll move to these areas, these take profit areas or areas of structure, and then they'll consolidate, right? And here we're talking about different possibilities again where it could go lower, high. And what we'd want to see in both directions, that's important as well when you're trading, is really just drawing out your trade ideas. That way you stick to it as far as discipline. If you stare at a chart too long, you'll see really anything that you want. Here, so we traded back up into that old structure that's now our old take profit 1 area, and we're trading back down. So that's a good sign. We reach back below that structure there. And now as we're pulling back toward that engulfing candle, we could really start to look to enter around there or right above that. So here a little bit of a late entry, but I think we're about to get in here in a sec. Yeah, so then there's that same setup I was talking about, right? Makes those lows, and then there, we enter short, stops right up near that high. Kind of measuring everything, just checking it out. There's 50% of that engulfing, and then that third candle, right? There's the high of that wick. There's me drawing out what we were talking about as far as the John Wick. And this is really a VIP method, but since it was in the recording, it kind of have to include part of it. But it's just using top-down analysis and using the John Wick on the lower time frame and the 5-minute as well as the 15. There's that same setup, right? Takes those lows, and now we're expecting it to go down and hit our take profit. Which really we're just looking for our trade to finish and get below that low of the day. We're not looking for much past that. Today was actually a very bearish day, and it ended up reaching way down there. But we ended up not capturing all of it. And that was the ADR low there as well. Don't have the indicator on there, but it definitely ended up hitting it. And so, again, this is our second entry, looking for more profits. And yeah, so we start reaching down here again, reaching, and just can't really quite get a whole bunch of momentum until, yeah. Okay, there it goes. Starts bouncing, that next candle comes. And we trade toward it. So now we're pulling the stop loss up, and it ends up missing that. It ends up going to the take profit. Definitely put the stop loss a little too tight, but just didn't want to give up anything on the trade. So came back and knocked us out, but ended up being a nice scalp for us. And so really this thing just kind of pulls back and then runs to, I forget the exact price, but went pretty low today. Oh, and then ended up snapping back by now. But the low on the day ended up being 34,345. So that's pretty significant move. And currently we're floating 427, so plenty more to be made on that trade. And as you can see, the move just kind of ran away too quick. There wasn't a whole bunch of time to really get in. And that's the thing about the best trades, in my opinion, they always happen fast. They're always quick. But that's part of the skill of trading, is as you get better and better, those things come easier and you start to see it a lot easier as well. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a good day.